the American economy would collapse as it's presently constructed.
Now we're beating out the capitalist society. We're bringing each other closer by community. Instead of money, you are going to be trading your products or services or skills for other things you need in your life. All right, if you could pay for your food right now.
If I could pay for it?
Yeah, without cash, by offering a product or a service, what would you offer?
A training session.
Of what?
A personal training session.
Like fitness?
Yeah, like fitness.
So you can get me big?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, sounds good. And would you use that service? Like, would you trade a training session for the food, if you could?
Yeah, but only 30 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah, because my food's not that expensive.
What services or skills would you have to offer?
Oh, would depend on the item, but I can do anything from build a house to body work.
Money wasn't a thing. What else do you have to offer?
So
You
training.
have to party. You better have a skill. Trade. Have something, payment in kind.
First thing that comes to mind is I think that society has conditioned me to not like myself. I mean, it feels sad to say it, but I think that we kind of get conditioned to not like ourselves, to think that we need to like buy stuff in order to make us happy and fulfilled.
I agree with you. And do you see that?
Is the same question for me?
Yeah. I mean, do you see that society nowadays conditions us to not like ourselves, so we buy things?
Yeah, very much. The television and the advertising in newspapers and magazines all conditions us to say we don't have enough, you're not fine as you are. Keep on buying things. So my daughter has made a promise never to buy anything new in her life.
I like that. Be minimalistic.
If everybody did as my daughter did, my wise and wonderful daughter did, the American economy would collapse as it's presently constructed, and maybe move towards something more healthy and enhancing than it presently is.
Do you believe people will be more happy in that way?
Yes, they would.
Yeah.
Remember Thoreau's quote, "A man is rich in proportion to the number of things he can afford to leave alone. The less you need, the happier you are." Yeah.
And do you think, since we live in such a materialistic society, right, that people don't perceive their skills, and what they have to offer to the world as valuable?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a therapist, actually, and like a lot of the work that I do with people is kind of coaching them to be able to recognize what their strengths are, because so often we're thinking in this deficit mentality. I'm not good at this, like I'm not as good as everybody else, but we really have to practice at it to be able to say, I'm good at this. This is what I can offer.
Do you mind?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right.
A lot of the work that I do with people is centered around switching that mentality from like focusing on everything that you're not, or like that you can't offer, to focusing on what you can do and what you can offer.
If we lived in a cashless society, how do you think everyone's lives would change?
I hope the way that it would change is that we would shift more towards valuing something based on the joy that it gives us, rather than valuing something based on how much it's worth monetarily.
You think the world would be a better place?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
Yeah. If you don't get your validation of self from approval of those around you, but if you're able to get it from within, then of course the world would be a better place. The one thing I would say, I'm 50 years older than my daughter, and it's much easier closing in on 80 to feel that way than it is, as in her case, closing in on 30. So the longer you live, the less attractive you are on the outside, and the more content you are with yourself on the inside. When you're younger, you tend to say, I wonder what he or she thinks of me. And then when you're older, you say, I wonder what I think about them.